Sometimes I think that it's important that we look in the mirror and ask ourselves one important question. How big of a knife do I really need? How's it going, everybody? I'm Rollshambo, the connoisseur and collector of all things sharp and shiny. And let me know in the comment section down below, when you delve into the depths and ask yourself that question, just how big of a knife do you really need? If you could, make sure to smack that like button while you're down there. Today, we're talking about not one, but two knives that, well, they're not very big, but are they big enough to get the job done? These are the Kansept mini corvids. Let's check them out.
This is Sparta!
Guys, I'm pretty excited to talk about this. These knives are quite possibly, no, they are most definitely the smallest knives that I've ever reviewed, period. And most of the time, I like to live in a zone of, between 7 to whatever inches long when it comes to pocket knives. But recently, my eyes have been open to knives that are, knives that are a little smaller. And I've always asked the question, just how much blade do you need? How much blade does most of us need for our average everyday cutting task? And I'm not talking about, the guy who goes about life working construction and needs something super hardcore, heavy duty, or the people that just work in environments where they really do need a bigger folding knife. I'm talking about, the everyday Joe. Now, I'm going to do these unboxings. If you've ever seen Kansept knives before, you get this little packet that has some information about the warranty. It also has the cleaning cloth in it. And these boxes just kind of slide in and out together. And then we have these pouches. And I really like Kansept pouches. I always have. They just seem classy. They look different. And they actually fit well in the pocket, which is kind of a nice change of pace. So here they are. These are the smallest knives you can currently order from Kansept. These are the Kansept mini corvid with the 1.5 inch blade. Look at that action. That is absolutely phenomenal. Now, the corvid is not a brand new design. The corvid, it came out like a year or 2 years ago, but it was extremely popular for a wide variety of reasons. And then they just started making different versions. They made the regular corvid, then they made the corvid XL, and then they made a smaller corvid, a mini corvid, and then a even minier corvid. And that's what these are. And we'll go over the specs real quick. First and foremost, this specific one is about a $65 knife. We're looking at purple G10 handle scales, steel liners, ceramic bearings. This isn't exactly a cleaver style blade. They actually call this an axe head style blade. Now, this is in fact designed by Coke Tools. We're looking at blade length of 1.45 inches, so right about 1.5 inches on the blade, and it only weighs about 1.4 ounces. That's crazy. For the blade steel, we have 154 cm. We've got a good amount of jimping right here, and I would consider this about a 1.5 to 2 finger knife. The jimping is actually really nice because it allows you to actually get behind the edge of that knife. And this is a fully functioning knife. Again, this one is going to be about $65. If you want one that is about twice this size, you can get it for about the same price as well. And that is also called the mini corvid. That's just, about this big instead of this big. And we'll do some size comparisons here in a second. If you are the person that wants something more premium, if you say, I don't waste my time with G10 and 154 cm, even though these are actually really good materials, you can get it in titanium and S35 VN, and this one is going to be about $107. And you know what? This one is is pretty freaking cool. They gave me an option, to check out one of the more premium models, and there's a lot of different variations. This one is beautiful because it is titanium handle scales with anodized dimples. Otherwise, it's the same axe head style blade. Also has this fuller, also has this amazing jimping right here. This one, in fact, is a frame lock and a flipper and a front flipper. It kills me just how easy these are to deploy. These are fully functioning knives. At first glance, you might be like, wow, that seems a little bit like a gimmick, but it's actually not. And it's forced me to ask the question of how much blade length do you actually need? Again, for most people who use these knives to open up boxes, to, cut things, I really have to ask the question, how big of a blade do you actually need? I mean, not how much do you want, how much do you need? Let me know what the last thing you used a knife for was, and then let's talk about it in the comments section to see, could you actually have used this knife instead of your, 6, 7, 8, 10-inch knife to get the job done? This is fantastic, and I'm 100% a fan of small knives. Now, I didn't used to be. For me, before, it would be more like this, okay? This is the CJRB Pyrite, and it's not a very big knife, but as you can see, these mini corvids would actually fit inside the handle scales while fully deployed. If you wanted to know what they look like up against something like a Spyderco PM2, it's... As you can see here, it is not even a competition. There are benefits to having knives this small. And the first benefit that I'm going to give you is that they're easy to conceal. We live in a day and age where people are very sensitive, especially people who don't believe in knives or see knives only as weapons. And when you pull out a knife, they get nervous, they start asking questions. And it can lead to some uncomfortable situations. With that being said, this will fit easily in the fifth pocket of your pants. In fact, you could actually put both of these in the fifth pocket of your pants. And so they're very easy to conceal. These also have the option to come with a Kydex sheath and a chain that you can wear around your neck. So you can actually use these as neck knives. And I don't really think that people are even going to look at you twice when you do that because they're so small that they're not really going to be making their presence known. Sometimes you just need a knife that you can get in, get out, open the package, and call it a day. And if you want to see these in action, flicking these knives is actually quite a lot of fun. Let's go ahead and do a quick cut test. So here I've got a recently deceased box of Buffalo Wing Cheez-Its. And honestly, the best way to use this would be in kind of a pinch grip, obviously. The jimping is really actually rather deep, and that's nice because your finger fits perfectly behind that blade. Yeah, it's no problem. No problem at all. Now, from the factory, are these the sharpest knives in the world? No, they're definitely working edges. They're edges that'll cut directly from the factory. But I can tell you, I'm actually really excited to put some really sharp edges on here, and you can. This axe head design is going to be perfect for utility cuts. Is it going to be the biggest knife ever? No, but if you're buying this knife, you're not buying it because it's big. You're buying it because it's small, it's easy to conceal, it's easy to carry, and maybe you carry this alongside another knife that you have that maybe you don't want to use for those other tasks. Maybe you just like the design and the fact that it's so universal that you can actually take it down to a tiny 1.5-inch blade. Hey guys, just wanted to take a quick minute to say thank you. If you're enjoying the content up to this point, go ahead and consider hitting the subscribe button. We're on the path to 100,000 subscribers, and we can't do it without you. So if you want to make sure to be notified every single time that I upload new content, hit the subscribe button and don't forget to check off that notification bell. Back to the content. That is fantastic. And now that we are coming up on the holiday season, I think that these would actually make fantastic knives for the non-knife person in your life, or maybe even the knife person. For example, if you're non-knife person in your life,
Epic fail.
if the non-knife person in your life is intimidated by knives, this is perfect because you can get them something small, something quality, something that'll get the job done and not make a whole lot of noise in the process, and also not cost a lot of money. You know, I can't help but think that this would be a great knife for somebody's wife. You know, all of those Amazon shoppers out there. Yeah, this could be the Amazon Box Destroyer 5000. Or if you wanted to get something a bit more premium for someone that is a fan of knives, but you don't know what they have and what they don't have, this is a pretty good bet that they don't have one of these yet. And if they are a fan of knives, they're really going to appreciate the attention to detail here. The anodizing on these handle scales is great. And for being such a small knife, it's actually quite useful. I'm blown away by the action. The ceramic bearings on here are fantastic. And also the ergos. Small knives often suffer in those departments. And while this knife is not going to give you a full 4-finger grip, you can get a comfortable 1.5 to 2-finger grip and then add your thumb to the back here, which actually gives you a good amount of control. As you can tell, guys, I actually really do like these, and I think that they're fantastic. They would be a wonderful gift for somebody, a wonderful gift for yourself even. But let me know in the comments section down below, just how big of a knife do you need for your everyday tasks? Do you really need something that is full size like this Spyderco PM2? Or could the job in fact be done by a knife this small? If you want to watch more awesome knife content, make sure to click on the video that pops up next.